Hey there, it's Steve from Serious Keto, and in this video we are going to make a keto cream cheese filled pumpkin Twinkie. But before we do that, I need your help. When I reviewed the Smart Planet corn dog maker, my comment section was pretty much a brainstorming session for ideas, for recipes for which we could use this thing. And I got enough ideas and suggestions that we're going to be able to knock out a recipe probably every week, at least through the end of the year, alternating between sweet and savory. And here's where I need your help. What do we call these things? This is like the same sort of pressure the person who invented the chaffle probably went through. Is it a chaffle? Is it a quaffle? What do we call this thing? So is this a Twinkie? Is it a keto-inkie? Is it a quinkie? What do we call it? If you've got an idea, put it down in the comments. It would be great if we could come up with something together. Otherwise, it's probably just going to be the quinkie. But enough about that. Let's make these things. We're going to start by taking a brick of cream cheese, and we're going to slice off 3 ounces. We're then going to cut this into 6 sticks. Then we'll pop these into the freezer while we make our batter. For this recipe, we'll be using my new standard for creating any sort of a batter, which will be using either a little food processor, or if you've got a blender or a NutriBullet, that works out just as well. We start with 1 tablespoon of almond flour, 1 tablespoon of coconut flour, 1/2 cup shredded mozzarella, 2 teaspoons of granular sweetener. I'm using Boca Sweet. You can also use Swerve. I prefer Boca Sweet. 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, and a pinch of salt. Then we'll pulse this until it's the consistency of breadcrumbs. I find about 6 to 8 pulses gets us there. Next, we'll add 4 tablespoons of my keto pumpkin pie filling, which I will link to right there. 2 large eggs, a tablespoon of sour cream, and about 40 drops, or 1/3 of a teaspoon, of liquid stevia. We'll process this until we have a smooth batter. Then a trick that I like to use is to either transfer the batter into a piping bag, or you can just use a sandwich bag. Remove the bag, get as much air out as you can, seal it, cut off a corner, then we'll set this aside with the hole we cut on the top so it doesn't leak out while we heat up our corn dog maker. Fill each of the cavities about 2/3 of the way full. Then we'll add the cream cheese, pushing down so the batter comes up around the edges, and then pipe some more filling on top of the cream cheese. And close the lid. After about 7 or 8 minutes, when you see the steam die down, pop them out. Now don't worry about overfilling, because the amount of batter is pretty much just right. I was a little bit timid on how much I filled up a couple of these, and thus they didn't brown all the way on the top. And then we'll let these cool for at least 10 minutes. They've been cooling for about 15 minutes. Let's give them a taste. Check this out. Nice and cakey. You got that cream cheese in there. Still a little warm. This is another treat you can give your non-keto friends and family members, and you might just convert them to keto. As a matter of fact, let's give them a try with my daughter. All right, here you go.
Thank you. Very good. I'm not much of a pumpkin person. I'm really not, but I do like these. And I also like the black of the cream cheese better, which I know.
Instead of like frosting or something?
Yeah, and instead of, yeah, it's definitely better with the, you froze it, right?
Yeah.
Definitely the way to go, so don't skimp out on that step, you guys, because it's the way to go.
So if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more like this, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. And if you want to be notified whenever I release a new video, hit the little bell next to it. Thanks for watching.